Hello, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. MGTOW is men going their own way. That is men leaving women behind. And by women, I mean feminists. Feminists. The women we don't like, the bitches, the nags, the gold-digging whores. The women that will do anything they can to get you to give them what they want. Okay? When you take the red pill of MGTOW, when you go your own way, you free your mind from the control that women have over it. And you have to absolutely not allow them to regain mastery of you that way. When you take the red pill, when you just step away from women long enough to get a breath of fresh air and start studying a little bit of philosophy about how they control you and understand what's going on, your eyes will open to a whole new world. In my last video, I talked about taking the battle to the enemy, right? I talked about getting out of your hole, your foxhole where you hide, right? Where the ghosts, the ghosts of MGTOW hide. They just avoid women. Get out of your foxhole and take the fight to them. There's plenty of people doing recruiting, talking to other men, getting them to say enough is enough. But someone has got to get out and lead the fight, to fight them on the street, to engage the enemy. And the enemy is women who are feminists as well as men who are feminists. But someone needs to engage them. I actually used to do this when I was still married. And I was married to a vicious feminist. A feminist who hates men. And of course I didn't know that till I got married to her and figured it out later. I used to do this. I'm a general contractor, and I built a large, beautiful custom house. And my materialistic, man-hating, gold-digging whore of an ex-wife used to invite all her friends over for social gatherings because she wanted to show off her possessions. You know, what a good husband I was building that for her. Oh man, I have so many stories to share with you guys. Okay, anyways. Her friends would be in the kitchen. It could be 2 or 3 of them plus the wife. Right? And I walk inside. You know, their husbands are outside in the, you know, in the lawn and the patio, you know, drinking beers. And I go, hey, I'll go get everyone another round of beers. So I go inside the kitchen and I look at these women. And they're yakking away like a bunch of hens clucking in a fucking hen house. And I just walk over and I look at them all and I wait for an opportunity and I interrupt them and I go, hey, this is my house. I've got the penis. Right? If anyone around here has a penis, it's me. And you would not believe the reaction I would get. They would start yelling and screaming, oh my God, you aren't the boss. You aren't the boss around here. Your ex-wife, right, at the time. Your wife's the boss. You're just the man, right? And I'd start the shit with them and start fighting, and I'd let them scream and yell, and then they'd start to calm down. And I would go, do you hear what you just said? I said I have the penis. You started talking about who the boss is. I said, let's just leave aside who's the boss here, right? I said I have the penis. You girls naturally assumed anyone with the penis is the boss. And I looked at them all. I go, any of you have a penis? Show me. Whip that cock out here. We'll throw down right now. None of you have the fucking cock. None of you have the penis. I have the penis. But you naturally assume that the penis represents boss, right? The jefe, who the patron is in the house, right? And I walked in here and you immediately attacked me. This is my own fucking house, and this drove the wife nuts. Because after I did it a few times, she knew where I was going, and I'd pull that shit with her friends all the time. I'd start a fight with them and take it to them. I have the penis. No, they would fight back. You don't have the, you're not the boss. You don't have the penis. I go, yeah, I do. It's right here in my pants. You can't argue with the penis. And they get so fucking mad. They wanted so bad to say that they had the penis because they associated it. The link was so close to them. Okay? It would make them mad. It would infuriate them. The old term for this was cock envy, right? Penis envy. All these women want a penis so bad, they cannot stand it, right? So they hate the penis. They're cock haters because it actually, it actually has to do with masculinity. They want to be masculine. They want to be the boss, right? They want to have the penis. So if you want to get them off balance, you just start with something like that, right? When you hear this man up shit, I used to walk into the kitchen during these events, and they didn't have to be a big social gathering, anything fancy. People aren't all dressed up and drinking champagne and wine all hoity-toity. It could have been a barbecue, just some friends over, someone's visiting, whatever it is. I'd walk in and say, "Hey, girls," and they're like, "Yeah, what is it? Don't you think men need to man up? Isn't it time for men to just man up for once? Aren't you tired of these fucking pussies?" And they go, "Yeah, we're tired of that shit." And you get them all wound up like Oprah Winfrey gets her audience wound up. And I go, "Yeah, these guys, they need to man the fuck up, right?" And they go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, why did you marry these guys? Why did you settle for a pussy? Aren't you a good catch?" "Well, yeah, we're good catches." Go, "Well, why'd you settle for a pussy?" "Well, he's not a pussy." I go, "Well, you're telling him to man up. He must be." "Oh, well, he's not." I go, "Well, I bet when you met him, he was one hell of a stud, wasn't he?" "Oh, yeah, my man's a stud," because now they're defending their guy, right? Now they have to defend their spouse or their boyfriend. You put them in a position where you're calling their man a boyfriend or boyfriend a pussy because they can't accept the fact that they married one. So then they have to say, "Well, he was one." Well, go, but now you're saying he has to man up like he's not one, because if you're a pussy, you better man up. And they get all fucking flustered. "Oh my God, when I met him, he was a hell of a stud." I go, but now he's a pussy and he better man up?" "Well, yeah, he needs to man up." I go, "Well, what the fuck happened to him?" You crushed his spirit, right? You're a gold-digging whore. You're a bitch. Whatever it was I said to him, it was just to fucking needle him and show them how hypocritical they are. You have to figure out how to do this if you're going to do this battle. And it doesn't matter if you lose a battle with these screaming hags, these harpies of penis hating, right? You've got to go after them. Lose a few battles, but get into the fray with them. You've got nothing to lose because they already despise you. They already despise you. These feminist women already hate your guts. They've already proven that they can take a man who tries to pacify and satisfy them, and they won't respect him. So you might as well go after them. Man up is what I'll tell you. I'm not telling you you're a pussy. I'm telling you go after the bitches. What's the worst that you can do? They'll lose respect for you? They already don't respect you. Okay? What comes next? Right? At the very least, regain your manhood with them. Regain your ability to face off and square off with a stupid bitch. Be willing to put them in your place. If you're married, your wife loves you anyways. If she's not one of these fucking harpies, right? You've got to go after them. Try it. Try it. Expose them as feminists, then ask them why they did it. Ask them if they're a gold-digging whore. Find a gold-digging whore and ask her, why are you such a gold-digging whore? There are ways to expose them and then show them what they are. I see it all the time. Sometimes, guys, I really do go, oh, fuck, I'm getting out of here. I don't want this thing following me home. Right? And I'm not even talking about someone I had sex with. I'm just talking about someone that saw me and saw what I was worth, and they started fucking hitting on me. Scary shit, right? Gold-digging whore. Get away from her. Other times, though, if you can engage them and point out what it is they're doing, this is fucking hilarious. I'm going to give an example from my work. right? There's this penis-hating, screeching harpy used to work. Ah, fuck, maybe she still does. I don't know. It's a pretty big company I'm with. And I know she hates men because she looked at me like day one and she called me a creeper. A creeper. Don't look at me, creeper. Right? The first thing she did was try dominating me. That's the first thing all feminists will do, is try to create a relationship with you. Hi, whatever, how you doing? Make the eye contact, and then they start trying to dominate you. They do it by shaming you, by putting you down, by calling you names, right? First thing I want to do is say, look, you fat, disgusting pig, shut the fuck up. I don't need your shit, right? I run this fucking show. You're down in the sewers, you know, just stupid shit, right? Put her right in her place. But I did, she called me a creeper. Well, eventually I did end up having to put it down the rough way. And a lot of times women like to cry when you put them down. So you got to be a little careful sometimes if you're at work. Okay, but it came up again where I knew this broad was right there. And she looked at me and she goes, come here, I need to talk to you about something. I said, no. I said, I'm the man. I said, I'm actually the authority figure here. You come over here. And she goes, no, I'm not going to. And I said, then your problem isn't going to get solved. I'm not going to fix your problem as a matter of my professional requirement, right? You're not going to treat me with disrespect. And so this other girl walks by and she looks at her and she looks at me and she goes, what's going on here? And I go, well, I'm over here and she needs to submit to my professional authority. And I used the word submit because I knew it would trigger her. And so the fat bitch looks at me and goes, and I'm not going to submit to him. And so the girl looks at the one girl looks at the other and she goes, well, that's why you don't want to have these. And she lifted up her ring finger, shows off a big giant rock and goes, I take care of my man. I give him everything he wants. I take perfect care of him. He bought me this, right? He married me. You don't have one of those on your finger. She laughed in her face and walked off. I laughed my ass off at her, right? I got her to engage in this thing, and she was so venomous, so toxic, that she triggered another woman, maybe a woman who's neutral, right, into attacking her and telling her what a loser she was. Well, you won't even submit, so you're never going to get married. And this girl's one of these single mom types that thinks she's worth a shit. Her opinion of herself is through the roof, and she's a fat pig. It's incredible, the overinflated self-worth of these women, right? She's never going to get anywhere in life, and it doesn't matter. But I'm not afraid to engage them. The battlefield is in front of us. And as long as we kowtow to women, as long as we, don't want to offend you, don't want to trigger you, I don't want to say anything that could get me in trouble. I don't want these women to think badly of me. They already think badly of you. If that's the case, if you're a dominant male, you can stand up to them. Even beta males can stand up to these hags because they don't respect you, so why should you? Being a nice guy is not going to win. Taking their side, they're not going to respect you. You're not going to get laid. You're not going to get what you want out of these feminists. What they want is to dominate you, control you, take control of your life, take your money, take your time, take what is valuable, your life essence. Stop giving it to them and start defeating them. If this, right, Marines and soldiers go to the field of battle, and they do so voluntarily because they want to defeat the enemy and protect the good guys on their side. If you're MGTOW and you're capable of entering the arena of battle, do it. Defeat the enemy. Demoralize the enemy. Attack the enemy. Put the hurt on the enemy. Because we're not going to win by doing nothing. You're not going to win by doing nothing. Someone has got to engage these fucking vampirical beasts and get them in their place. Get them out of our lives. How do we do it, right? My second video, MGTOW versus whores. How are we going to do this? Either the species dies because men are going to quit screwing these hags and making babies, and that's already happening, the population reduction. Either we do that or we defeat the philosophy of feminism by engaging it and showing that we're more intelligent, more capable, and that the philosophy of men run this planet is proper. It's well explained. You take away their arguments and you shit on it and you trash it and you turn it inside out using real intelligence, real philosophy that needs to be done. Somebody has to do it. And we all know that doing nothing has produced no fucking results, right? The only thing that's happened is women are changing their approach. They're modifying their game in order to continue to milk men from their money. I often wonder, why the hell is it that men get married, get a divorce, get married again, get a divorce, get married again, and continue to get tricked? It's like they're not learning. It's just there's a different type of feminist, a different type of gold-digging whore at every age and every level in a man's life. And she's waiting there to see if she can take advantage of them. It is horrendous, these women and what they do to men. They're just waiting. They're waiting out there, right? They think they're there to mug the man in the alley, and they don't realize that when they meet one of us MGTOW type guys, alpha males who are intelligent, beta males who are intelligent, that they're not there to mug you, but you're there to fuck them up and set them straight. And if you don't like doing it, don't do it. If you just want to be a ghost, be a ghost. But I'm saying we need warriors on the field of battle. We need men out there in the front, not afraid to show your face, not afraid to stand up to them, put them in their place, expose the fault of their logic, and then make them answer for it. If you don't like men that are pussies, why do you keep making them into pussies by dominating them? By giving them some pussy and then saying, if you don't do what I say, I'm taking it away. And then getting so disgusted that when you take it away from them, right, when you turn them into pussies, then you say, well, you're a pussy now, I'm not going to give you any sex. And so then you throw them away, a crushed, destroyed, defeated man. These fucking whores, these feminist whores, because that's what they do. They use their body to get money, but they're feminists and they're whores. They crush and destroy men. They chew them up, they spit them out, and they take all their money. That's what they do, and that's why they need to be defeated. Men need to quit giving them, go their own way. But there need to be men out there willing to confront them and point out this philosophy. Because women that are not feminists, let's just say they're neutral women. They're not, they're more traditionalist. They're still indoctrinated in schools with feminist philosophies and ideology, whether they know it or not. I'm the same as a man. I'm a man's equal. I should get a man's pay. All the bullshit. It starts them down the road to feminism. We need to face the enemy on the battlefield. We need to defeat it. And it's our minds. It's our intellect that's going to allow us to do that. And if you attack the enemy and you defeat them, they're going to do one of two things, okay? Either, and the more likely of the two things is that they're going to double down and become an even more strict bitch, an even ruder feminist, an even bigger penis hater. And maybe a few of them will go the other way and go, oh, I never looked at it that way. I guess I better straighten out or maybe learn something, right? At the very least, you stop them and make them think. And it will make you stronger for it. Like I said, if you lose a battle to a feminist, so what? You haven't lost anything. If you win a battle, you gain the confidence in knowing that your philosophy stands. And then you'll start to see the weakness of the feminist argument. One of my favorite things is to ask women what it is they like to do. Oh, I love to sit at home and garden and whatever their fucking hobbies are. I like to go riding my bike. I like to walk the dog. And I go, well, you know, if you supported your husband and treated him like a man and did everything right, and you could stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife, and they're like, I don't want that. I go, but you just said your favorite thing in life is to stay home and garden and ride your bike, hang out with your friends. You women had it made in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s and the 30s. You had it made. Women stayed home. It's not even hard to clean house anymore. You got a vacuum out. You got a Swiffer, right? You do a Swiffer duster. You're done in an hour or less every day. And then you can do your favorite things you like to do. But you had to say, I want to be like a man and get a job. And now you've got a fucking headache at the end of the day. All you do is piss and moan about your jobs. And you don't get to do the fun things that you claim you want to do. All because you think you need to do a man's job. You go, you shot yourselves in the foot, you stupid bitches. What the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? It's an incredible argument to make with them. What's your favorite hobby? Wouldn't you like to do that all day? Then why the fuck did you screw everything up so bad? Why did you buy the feminist ideology and fuck yourself up? Oh, it's hilarious. All right, so that's just some ideas I have about taking the fight to them and what we have to gain over it, what you can gain personally. When you expose feminism to women and men hear it, they laugh their asses off. They start to think. It gets blue pill men fucked up in the head and they start thinking about it. Oh shit, I never thought of that. Talk about a recruiting effort. Like I said, I was married. I did everything I could according to the traditional ways to please my wife. And she turned out to be one of these cold brass bra brassiere wearing, screaming, penis hating harpies that will just come after you and nag the fuck out of you and scream and yell at you. I mean, just screaming and yelling. It's incredible. Right? When I started to say, okay, what we've been doing for the last number of years isn't working. It's time that I take control of this household back. The direction of the household, the direction of the finances, all of the major decisions are going to be 100% mine. I'm going to start with here, and I'm going to go A, B, C, D, and I'm going to take it all back slowly. And we're going to turn this ship around. You tell me you want all these things, but everything that you're doing is making sure it doesn't happen, and then you're complaining to me about it. If we want these things, this is what I'm going to do to get them. And as I took that control and power back, she just turned up the volume of resistance, verbally and otherwise. The punishment attempts, the shit tests. Everything that women do to control and manipulate men was turned up onto me so that the volume was so great I couldn't hear anything else in my life. Eventually it culminated in my divorce when I filed papers to get away from her because she became a hideous human being to deal with. We've got to take the battle to them and stop rewarding them. Stop giving them what they want. Start exposing them for what they are and pointing out how they've caused their own pain and discomfort. Or this species is dead. In 3 generations, human beings will be dead. Okay, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. I hope you enjoyed this. Battlefield tactics. Okay. It's making me laugh ear to ear thinking about all the times I fucked them up. And they're still out there and they're still lining up and they're still getting spanked. all when it's fun. And I'm now going to go into a restaurant and get a pizza for me and my sons. And I'm probably going to see 1 or 2 or 3 of them in there, and I'm going to fuck with them mercilessly, because that's how I roll. Semper Fi. Get it done, guys. Start getting out there and swinging away. Have fun with it, too. All right. John out.